see the entire mid-cap space currently, given that we've seen some sort of a correction kick in? The stocks that saw massive rallies have seen correction. People are definitely perturbed, Hemen. So how are the charts looking now?
Well, Cheryl, it's been a humongous run-up, and like even Gaurang said, IRCTC was on a boil, whether it's IEX. One, it was needed. Two, it was overbought. Three, some of these FNO stocks, it's obvious, the market bullish, bearish sentiments are expected to be excessive. And I think, firstly, I think retailers need to avoid FNO. The lot sizes are out of proportion, and it makes things that much more dangerous. And keeping the run up that we've had in some of the, especially some of the mid cap FNO stocks, I mean that they were scary. So a cool off was needed, and invariably the cool off comes as a jerky crash and not as a very structured move. So I think that's what happened. So I think good stocks don't matter in terms of themes. Even for mid cap for the next few months, I think banks, metals, and select auto stocks are what I think are looking technically positive, and they should slowly do well. There are certain things like an Shriram Transport which stand out, but overall, I think, and if you look at the NSE mid cap index, I mean, it's obvious that we've had I mean, we still are in the midst of a phenomenal bull run. We saw a downward bar reversal coming in, and today we've recovered. So it's been a one-way move. There are going to be small hiccups time and again. That doesn't change. The VIX has gone up, which is a cause for concern. In the US, the VIX has gone down. Here, the VIX has gone up because and you have a weak rupee. But everything else seems to be okay. We've seen a cool off coming in. Maybe it takes a few days more for this to pan out. But overall, the picture hasn't changed. Yes, we needed a reality check, Shell. That's coming.
Okay. Let's start with the queries, and they've been pouring in, gentlemen. So I'm going to request you to keep your answers as short as possible. The first one's for you, Hemen, and this one's on HFCL, which is currently trading at 74.25, down about 1.5%. We've got Chandran from Pune who is asking about HFCL. He's holding at levels of 70, which he bought this year itself. Can he hold on for the next 6 months is his question.
Yes, stop loss 56, target 104, hold.
All right, this next query that we have is from Ujwal, and he wants a technical view on ISGC Heavy Engineering. He is holding the counter from the levels of 818 rupees per share. He wants to know whether he should average the counter or book losses. Hemen, what's your view on this one? I think it's ISGC Heavy.
Firstly, Cheryl, there's not too much of data to go on. It's a relatively new listing. So that's a small caveat. Having said that, lower top, lower bottoms, below moving averages, we are in a short and medium term downtrend. 640 support, that needs to be kept as a stop loss. That's also the 55-day, 55-week exponential moving over there. A weekly close above 730 followed by 760 should get it back on track. As of now, it's a hold with a stop loss.
Okay, let's take another one. This one I'm coming to you for, Gaurang. Gulf Oil Lubricants is the name of the counter. Rajni from Chennai is asking. She's holding 200 shares at levels of 887. She's been holding for the last 4 years. She wants to switch out, and she's looking for a good stock or two that she can buy as an alternative to Gulf Oil, not necessarily in the same sector. What would you suggest?
Well, so Alex, we don't have coverage on this one, but since the investor is asking that she or wants to switch over from here and make an alternative investment, then I think one should possibly look at private sector banks, and over there Axis Bank is something that we are extremely positive. I think the second quarter earnings are this week or the coming week. I stand to be corrected, it's very soon, and our sense is that the entire banking pack along with NBFC should witness very healthy Q2 earnings as well as the quarters to come by. So if the investor wants to make a switch, then I think a private sector bank, Axis Bank, would be a preferred choice.
Okay, this one is from Sagar. He wants a view on Astral and Cera Sanitaryware. He's holding both of them for a very long time. He's bought about 5,000 shares of Astral from the level of 510 rupees per share, and Cera 3,000 shares of Cera Sanitary from the levels of 2,550. He's saying that recently Astral has decided to enter into forces as sanitary Sanitaryware. Sorry, my bad. I've been saying it wrong all this while. He wants to know, can this become a good leader in all piping verticals in future? What's your take on Astral and Cera? Gaurang, do you think Astral has the capacity to actually become a leader going ahead?
So, Cheryl, no specific comment since we don't have a coverage, but both the companies have got a strong balance sheet and decent market share. Having said that, I think whatever changes or development or positivities that we are seeing on the real estate sector, it does not, those positivities does not stay only to the real estate sector. They get translated into other sector as well because they complement the real estate sector. For example, paint industry, cements, metal, pipes and fittings, sanitary ware companies, electrical wires, and electrical appliances, because you would definitely want to make a decent home to live into. And I think nowadays microwaves, refrigerators, flat TVs, air conditioners, coolers, all these modern day appliances have become a common man's basic necessity. No specific comments since we don't have a coverage, but yes, the positivities of real estate sector gets translated onto these sectors as well.
Okay, let's take another one. This one is coming in from Sanjoy Garai, who is from Kanpur. He points out that he bought Larsen & Toubro Infotech Heymen, and he bought it yesterday at a price of 6,767. Let's look at where it's currently trading, and what he's asking for is basically for a short-term view. He's looking only for a few months. What would you say that the advice should be?
Bunch of data, we're at all-time highs, so a little bit of a handicap from that point of view. But I use a projection technique, roughly a price target of 7,400 in the next couple of months seems to be on the horizon. Alex.
Okay, this one is from Niranjana. Wants to know whether is Newland Labs a good buy for the shorter term. What's your take, Gaurang? Do you think Newland Labs is worth a buy even for a short term?
Went for short term because I'm not capable of that. I think Heymen is better capable of commenting in short terms and technicals. But I think in the pharma universe, if you do have to buy something, then we are positive on Cipla, we are positive on Dr. Reddy's, DD Laboratories and Sun Pharma. I think that's where you should focus.
So Heymen, this next question is a bit broad based. And Anand Verma says that he has 2 lakh rupees that he wishes to trade. Now I hope that Anand has looked at his portfolio and has allocated a small portion to trading. Having said that, he's looking for a 2-month time horizon and he's left it open. Do you have any picks that you can suggest that he can look at for 2-month time horizon?
Yes, Alex, I think I just mentioned one. I think Shriram Transport is one. I would have a toss-up between Jindal Steel and Power and Steel Authority of India, and the last one would be 4 ones, and Kotak Mahindra Bank and Apollo Tyres. All of these or few of these he can buy from a 2-month point of view. I believe it would give him approximately 10% or so, Alex.
Okay, this one is from Tarun and he's saying he's bought Polycab at the levels of 2,580 rupees per share. He wants to know when should he actually average this particular counter, Heymen. What's your take on Polycab? 2,580 is the buy level of Tarun's.
If he needs to average, the level is around 2250. Support and the 55-day exponential moving average. Stop loss comes in at around 2140. Possible targets would be 2500, 2650 and 2800.
Okay, the question is from Rosa, who is writing in from Bangalore. Thank you so much, Rosa, for writing in. HDFC Bank is a counter. Gaurang, I believe, if not mistaken, we've spoken about it in the recent past. She's bought at levels of 1,680. She's wondering whether to add more on dips, or can you suggest maybe an SIP strategy?
Well, I think name like HDFC Bank, you should not wonder at all, and you should not delay your decisions. And yes, Alex, what you mentioned about doing an SIP, I would definitely recommend that, and not only restrict to HDFC Bank, but all the four companies in the HDFC group, that is HDFC Limited, HDFC Bank, HDFC Life, and HDFC AMC. I think they are perfect suitable candidates for an SIP for long-term investors.
Okay, this one is from Amish. He's saying he's bought Edelweiss at he bought Edelweiss 145 shares at the levels of 147 rupees per share. For the longer term, how's the view? How is actually the outlook looking for this particular account, Gaurang? Edelweiss, the buy price is 147 rupees per share. How does it look over the longer term? Do you think Amish should stay invested?
Heyman would be in a better position to answer this.
Heyman, would you like to take this one on Edelweiss? How does it look over the longer term? Or on the charts rather, what should Amish do with his holding? He has 145 shares, which he's purchased at 147 rupees per share.
Yeah, Cheryl. Currently, there is no directional bias. Stock is more between 50 and 100 for the last almost 15 months or so. So, two things. One, it's a hold. Stop loss would come in a bit deep, but cannot be helped. Ideally 60, tighter stop loss 70. Needs to close above 100 for anything significant to happen. Technically, it doesn't look bad, but that does not mean it's going to go up. Levels to watch. Currently 84, 100 is the important one. A close above 100 should get him to 130 and somewhere closer to his cost in the next 12 to 14 months also, Cheryl.
Okay, let's look at Tata Power. It's seen a bit of a dip in the recent past. We discussed this earlier in the show. It's currently trading at 225 or thereabouts, but still over the last month or so, it's up as much as 68%. We've got a question coming in from Sagar, and this one's also for you, Heyman. He's got 1,000 shares at 220. Sorry, he says 235 is his buy price, he got confused because I asked him price and he said 220 currently, but he's talking about the market price. He bought at levels of 235. Should he hold with the hope of making some gains, or should he book losses at this juncture?
It's a medium term or a longer term investment, clear hold. If it's a shorter term sort of a move and it was a short term trade, ideally its stop loss should have got triggered. If not, stop loss of 195 doesn't look bad, but I mean it's gone through the roof, 13-year breakout and all, but such a run up, it's natural for it to do this. It would take some time. So tighter stop loss for a shorter term trade. Long term, I think sit back and relax.
Okay, Gaurang, this one is from you and this is from Manas, and he's saying what is the medium to long term outlook for Granules India? He's already holding 90 shares, which he's purchased at an average price of 327 rupees per share. He wants to know whether he should look to add some more of Granules India to his portfolio. What's your take, Gaurang?
So we had coverage on Granules India, and I think after consolidating between 250 to 300 for a pretty long period of time, the stock did manage to move upwards north. And then again, a little bit of consolidation, not only on this particular company, but the entire pharma universe. But overall, the outlook remains positive on pharma. And I think Granules, if you are holding it from a long-term point of view, I don't recollect right, but we still maintain a positive coverage on Granules India.
Okay, the next one, Gaurang, do you have coverage on IndiaMart Intermesh? We've got a viewer named Sunil who's bought at levels of 6,700 a couple of years back, and he's wondering whether to book profits at this juncture based on whether or not you see the price targets from the past having been hit. What would you suggest that he should do?
So again, no specific coverage on this one, Alex, but I am always advising investors that when you get the kind of returns that you have anticipated from a long period of time, and if the company is doing well in terms of earning visibility and there is still growth ahead, at least book part profits or bring home your capital. And this gentleman got invested at 6,000, if I heard it right, and the stock price is, I think, about 8,500, and it was even higher. Even this is one of the stocks which is witnessing price correction and time-wise correction. So when the stocks start correcting, retail investors are in a limbo. I think it's only wise to book profits as and when you get them, and at least bring home your capital. Rest, I leave it to the investors' wisdom and fine sense of judgment. Unfortunately, we don't have a coverage on this one.
Alright, this one is coming in from Hanumantaraya Gowda, and he's asking that about Amara Raja batteries. He already has some shares that he's purchased at 790 rupees per share, and he's asking, will the shares ever go up? Will the stock price ever go up? Heyman, what is the chart saying about Amara Raja batteries? What should Hanumantaraya do?
Well, Cheryl, if he's bought it at 790, I believe that buying would have been a few months ago, not recently. Having said that, it has disappointed a bit on the charts. We saw a nice build up and it's been washed out completely. As of now, hold. I believe the stop loss should be 665. Time being, we are getting oversold. A recovery seems to be on the cards. Couple of levels I would suggest you keep an eye on. 730, 755, and the big one is 780. A close above 780 should give you at least 10% upside from there. Currently, things are not looking so bad. Yes, near term it's been washed out. I would suggest a hold with a stop loss. Delayed recovery, I think, seems to be in the cards, and the Nifty Auto Index is something which I still am favorable on. Yeah.
Okay. Gentlemen, Heyman, you won't be familiar with this, so I'm just going to run you through it. This is a rapid fire segment. It lasts for about 2 minutes or so. We will try and attempt to alternate between you and Gaurang, and we'll try and get as many queries answered. Do keep your answers as short as possible. Just maybe a buy, sell, or avoid in case that is a recommendation. This one's for you, Gaurang, though. This one's from Sujil from Ooty. He's got ICICI Prudential for a price of 680. He's unhappy with the recent price movement. Would you suggest that he should have patience and hold on, though?
Stock market investment is all about patience, long term, and high risk, Alex. So we are positive on ICICI Pru Life. Hold on for long term, and if capital is available for long term, you can add on to this.
Okay, this one is from Dikshita. She's asked a couple of stocks, but maybe one of those that you can pick. Heyman wants to know whether NMDC, PNB Gilt and LT Foods can be averaged at current levels. Let's stick to one of the counters which you think that she should average at current levels.
NMDC, yes.
Okay. And National Aluminium, NALCO is the name of the counter. We've got Shankar who bought at levels of 84 per share, and he's bought a significant quantity. Should he hold or should he sell? This one's for you, Heyman.
Sell around 118.
G. Kumar wants to know Glenmark Pharma. He's purchased 625 shares at 100 rupees per share. I believe he wants to know. Whether he can continue to hold on for another year. I think I mixed up the buy price and the holding, but can he continue to hold on for one more year, Heyman? Glenmark Pharma?
Strong hold.
Okay. Gaurang, this one's for you. Tirumalai Chemicals is the name of the counter, bought at levels of 307 by money. Should he hold or should he average at this point?
Alex, no coverage.
She's purchased Bank of Baroda 94 rupees per share. Should I wait? What's your take, Gaurang? Should he continue to hold on to Bank of Baroda?
Well, not only hold on, but add-on dips, I think banking sector is going to see a major turnaround for the positive side on the earnings front. Not only private but even public banks.
Okay, unfortunately. All right, thanks so much, Gaurang. We're unfortunately out of time. Hemain as well as Gaurang, it's been a pleasure speaking with you. Thank you so much for being so accommodative and for taking all the queries that you did take. We hope to speak to you very, very soon. On that note, we're slipping to a short break, but do stay tuned. More on the other side, so we'll be right back.
This is Pinku Oberoi. Picking Old Delhi's best Golgappe is tough for him. But picking stocks on Upstocks, easy. With smart features on Upstocks, get all stock related info easily on your phone. Upstocks, start karke dekho.
Investment in securities market are subject to market risks. Read all the related documents carefully before investing.
सुनो ना, आज तबीयत ठीक नहीं लग रही। तुम ही